a toucan. Toucan. Need some berries, eat a seed. Fresh ripe fruit is what I need. Oh, man. Toucan. I live in homes. I got a beat. I play games. Squawk and squeak. Black and white. Orange and blue. Red and green. How about you? A toucan. Toucan. Eat some berries, eat a seed. Fresh ripe fruit is what I need. Oh man, toucan.
Oh, my bad, y'all. Having too much fun. What it do? It's your man Toucan Dan. As you see, I might find my theme song. I don't know if they're going to find me or I might get sued or whatever. I ain't got no money. But as you see, I'm trying to come up with a little theme song because it's Toucan Dan. Usually you see me and the fellas, Don, Gotti Nash, Step the Lover, but due to certain circumstances, brothers can't be with us. But no disrespect to them, brother, but my grandma, my late Nana, rest in peace, once said, one monkey don't stop no show. Shit, not even two. The show still must go on. Because I'm here for y'all. And as you can see, I got my man Toucan Dan. That's me. Welcome to Fuck Your Opinion podcast. But I got to give you, even though my folks ain't here, my boys ain't here, I still got to give you the real layout and a lineup for this shit. So here we go. What it do? Live from the pit that don't give a shit. Well, sometimes we do care. I ain't going to be too hard about it. We care. But it's Fuck Your Opinion podcast with your man, Toucan Dan. Hopefully, we're going to get the brother Sims and Rocky. Hope he's all one thing going out to Rock. You know, he was on last week. He explained a lot about healthcare and how we, especially as black folks and people of color, should always be aware of our circumstances, our mental and physical health. And, you know, kudos to Rock for coming in. And I know he's been under the weather. And like I said, if you missed it, the brother's had some serious health issues that he's dealt with. And hopefully he gets to move on and everything's copacetic and kosher. My man Sims, maybe come on and rock with us. Who knows? But it's me. Hey, yo, if you're watching the podcast, maybe not. Always know you can hit us up on PYOPod. You can come in on the link that's in the bio. Hit me up. You want to jump on, talk your shit, whatever. You can, as soon as you see it, you jump in, you in the background, you want to talk some shit with your man Toucan Dan. Guaranteed I'm gonna let you get your words in. Even though I usually, well, I do let people get a word in otherwise. But anyway, I'm here. Fuck Your Opinion podcast. If you want to join me, you see the show, you peeping this, you checking us out no matter where you're from. If you want to jump in and give us your opinion, even though it might be fuck your opinion, we still willing to take it. And listen to it because it's a community thing. You know what I'm saying? We always got the livest topics. Sports, entertainment, whatever the fuck is going on in the world, we try to bring it to you here on Fuck Your Opinion podcast because like I always say, the world is a wonderful place, and dealing with human beings, you are always going to get some great storylines, headlines, and news clips, and outtakes, and all kinds of shit. Even on this show, you know what I mean? Because I like to talk about shit that's current, trending in the news, media, whatever. Some topics we might not get into, some topics we might get into. If you don't know, sometimes I might go off the rails, sometimes it might go right, sometimes it might go left, but we always try to get it right back online. Like I'm trying to get my motherfucking hood. Oh, I got a flex for Packers. Yeah, we won. We beat up on Detroit. Wasn't nothing big, but a win is a win, and we'll take it. It's like Roger said, it's in the division, so it's a big win, so we'll take it. Anyway, let's get into some of these topics, man. I want to talk about a few things. Well, I always want to talk about something. That's why I'm on this podcast. Been here since day one. But let's get into it. Let me find something interesting that you all might find quite interesting yourself. Let's see. You know what? Let's take it light. Let's take it light, ladies and gentlemen. By light, I mean let's take it light-skinned. Well, I'll explain that comment. Let's take it light-skinned in a minute. Just give me a second to get my shit together here. Usually I got my man Don here rocking and jocking with me. But check this out. I know you see Fat Joe. Fat Joe is not the goddamn topic of conversation. This is the topic of conversation. If you don't know and you haven't seen it, lately it's been a lot of firing off about who's right now is considered the greatest in pop music. Who's the great king of pop? Michael Jackson or Drake. Now, a lot of people like, how can that even be a fucking debate? How can Michael Jackson and Drake be brought up in the same fucking sentence? But let me tell you, I'm explaining this right quick. This article comes from Drake. If you don't know, Drake put out the Certified Lover Boy album. It was a Certified Lover Boy album, okay? It was for the ladies. It really wasn't for the gents. I know a lot of bros was out there like, man, Drake, that was some bullshit, man. Drake, he had an album that we thought he was going to come out because the whole beef with him and Kanye West, everybody thought it was going to come out and Drake was going to put this monster album out that was just going to bang the streets and knock asphalt loose and motherfucking pothole man covers was going to come flying up off the ground because Drake was just going to shake the street with this one. Well, Drake did Drake. And he came out with when you can get to that level, I don't even know if you just heard what the fuck I was saying, but I was trying to show you. But if you can get to that level in music where you got top 10 Billboard hits, you consider the shit. It says, for one, Certified Lover's Boy, aforementioned 9 prime 10 hits. Oh, let me see. I might got somebody in here. Oh, my man Rock. What's happening, everybody? Give a warm welcome and a round of a worldly applause to my man Rock. What's up, Rock?
What's going on, man?
What's happening, bro?
Chilling, man. You dolo again, huh?
Yeah, but you know me, I'm gonna talk my shit, bro. You know how I roll, Rock. It don't matter. I'm gonna talk my shit because somebody got to talk shit on here, so might as well be me.
There you go. I'm here to talk shit with you.
And yeah, so Rock, check this out, right? I was talking about this Drake Certified Lover Boy shit, right?
Right.
Drake has 9 out of top 10 hits on motherfucking Billboard currently are from Drake's last recent album, Certified Lover Boy. Now this persons period haven't done this number since Michael Jackson, the Beatles, and I think it was Elvis Presley. But right now they're considering Drake as the king of pop because of what he's able to do with as far as music, and he's climbing the charts and billboards. Now, this was my thing about the whole shit, right? I was telling my wife, I was like, yo, when you look at the songs with Drake, I'm trying to find these fucking songs. Give me a second. But it's not just Drake. They're not songs with Drake. You know what I'm saying? It's not just him by itself. It's a host of other
collabs and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's not really him by itself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we was talking about it, and they was like, well, they was basically saying, you know, with him being able to hold this spot like that he would consider, you know, up there with Michael Jackson. But I'm like, the thing about that, I don't really get it. Well, I ain't really showing too much respect for myself. I would say I respect Drake as an artist, but I'm not, you know, giving him that type of kudos. Is that the songs that he actually did were, like I said, out of hold on, I did some shit. I'm always doing some shit. I just did some shit. But out of his top 10 songs,
so
3 are singles.
You really don't have to go no further, man. We're talking about, you know, and I get it. What it is the short attention span, right? It's really about, we have to revisit this conversation in the next 40, 50 years, right?
Right.
We have to see what Drake's catalog has amassed to where people like, so kids nowadays know Michael Jackson.
Right.
Right. I mean, I've seen TikTok videos. I've seen all types of different videos paying homage to Michael Jackson. Right now, I have not seen that being passed on or, you know, appreciated to Drake. Now, I'm not going to shortchange Drake. The dude has music right now. He, to me, right now, just by a little margin, he is hip hop, right? He is the face of hip hop, regardless if he's writing the songs himself, has a ghost writer, whatever the case may be. He is hip hop. Backtrack again, though. We're talking young Michael Jackson, off the wall Michael Jackson, Thriller Michael Jackson, Remember the Times Michael Jackson, Beat It Michael Jackson. You know, the list goes on and on, right? So until he can have a catalog like that and be remembered, right now, MJ is the greatest pop singer of all time.
Right. And see, my thing, like I was talking about, a lot of his songs that are in the current top 10, I think out of 9 songs, either 5 to 6 are features with Young Thug, oh my God, I can't, Little Baby, Giveon. Basically, most of his top 10 songs now are with artists that are already within the top 20 in Billboard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you never had Michael Jackson featuring Stevie Wonder, or Michael Jackson featuring Lionel Richie, or Michael Jackson featuring Lil Richard, or Michael Jackson featuring James Brown. It was no featuring. It was Michael Jackson. Only feature you had was Quincy Jones with
We Are the World. We Are the World. That was it.
You know what I mean? But you never had Michael Jackson featuring an artist in which you would say, well, that guy's with him is already one of the biggest pop stars also. I mean, he had Paul McCartney, but we know in that range, Michael Jackson was already Michael Jackson by the time he did his thing with Paul McCartney. Like you say, We're All the World. But as far as his catalog, when you think of Michael Jackson, you don't think Michael Jackson featuring anyone in his top Billboard songs, you know?
Right.
So, like I said, I don't have a disrespect or disregard for Drake and, you know, his craftsmanship or his ability to make music or make hits. That is a great thing. But, and it all came from an actual jab that Drake took on the Certified Lover Boy. He was like, one of those lines was like, do they call him MJ or greater? It was something like he kind of took a little jab at not at Michael Jackson, but putting himself in that category. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, that's what really
and a Facebook user wrote over here, Mike is the king, Drake ain't making bitches fall out at the sight of him. Thing. And I go as far as saying, not to use the derogatory word as far as bitch, males were out there passing out too.
Yeah. Damn right. Shit, I remember Martin Lawrence had that song, that joke. He said, "Motherfucker, Michael Jackson had motherfuckers jamming in Bucharest." He said, "I ain't never heard of no shit." He said, "Motherfuckers had missiles on their back dancing and shit." Right. He's like, "You a bad motherfucker when you go to places like Bucharest." He go to cities over around the country that you've never heard of, and be mobbed in the street just as much as anyone. Correct. Where he would literally be mobbed in the streets where he couldn't be about by himself. And like I said, Drake, they saying he's basically Michael Jackson of our time, but it can't, like you said, Michael Jackson's catalog of music literally stands at 40 years.
Right.
Or plus. The man's been entertaining and making songs since he was 5-6 years old. So for Drake to only be out in the category of him actually, and honestly, Drake has been out for 10 maybe plus years, but his category of fame, it hasn't been for 10 or more plus years. His category of fame maybe has been maybe 5 to 6 strong years in category of fame.
Right.
So, but like I said, and they say in this generation, I'm with you, Rock. This generation got a short fucking attention span. If you think somebody who been making hit songs and putting out decent albums, okay, for 5 or 6 years, that you consider yourself the king of pop only off album sales. And somebody else brought a good point. They said people got to remember, album sales are different from streams. Correct. When we came up, an artist had to sell literally 1 million copies, you know what I mean, of a record. He had to literally sell 1 million copies of a song. It wasn't a stream where people like, hey, I'm riding down the highway, let me just throw this shit on because this is my jam off the album and it get counted.
Right.
It was way more of I would say marketing strategy, but it was based way more of your level of talent that you got pushed to that level. You had to basically push yourself to that level to reach that level. And Michael Jackson ain't never get bodied by nobody in the industry. Drake, he took a couple of lumps. So he came back and bounced back on Meek Mills. Pusha T gave him a lump. And Michael Jackson has never been booed off the stage. And we damn sure know Drake was at the Tyler the Creator's concert and they booed him the fuck off because they thought at the time. I've never heard Michael Jackson getting booed off the stage because they thought Stevie Wonder was up next. That shit ain't never happened.
Until any artist, and I'm not just talking Drake, any artist sell 100 million. That's what Thriller sold. It's a little over 100 million. Until you do that, you're not the king of pop.
You ain't the king of shit until you sell records.
Right.
You can sell. You can stream singles.
I don't think any of the streams have reached 100 million streams.
I don't. And I'm not even in that culture.
It's easier to get there than selling a record.
Hell yeah, that's what I said. A stream could be just something you put on your fucking car while you riding down the street. Like, hey, I'm gonna listen to a few things. I'm gonna listen to somebody's album. They say, "Oh, well, you streamed it." Now, next thing you know, you getting credit for it. So they say a lot of people in the record industry is getting credit for shit that they really don't deserve, or really just being what they call mediocre artists.
I mean, that's a generation. The whole generation is mediocre artists. Ain't too many that are up here. There's some, but there's a lot of mediocre artists because they're able to put their own music out themselves. They don't have to go through the A&R. They don't have to go through a record label. They can do it sitting at home, hit it on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, and they're an artist.
Yeah, that is true. That is no bullshit. Hey, what's up, Sam's?
What up?
What's up, bro? Ain't that, we sitting here popping shit always. I mean, I know sometimes certain conversations you be like, I don't even want to get involved in that motherfucker. I know sometimes you be like, that ain't even worth the conversation. But here on the show, we like to hear your opinion, even though you like, why the fuck do I need to give my opinion on some shit as trivial as that? But you got anything to say about it?
What was y'all? Did I hear a comparison to Drake to Michael Jordan? Michael Jackson?
Well, yeah, it's a debate because of the Billboard charting, and they trying to say, is Drake the modern day Michael Jackson? Is he the Michael Jackson of our time as far as him putting out music that's basically continuous hit after hit? He charted 9 songs on the top 10 of Billboard. Like I said, some of them, more than half of them were features, but they saying that nobody, when it comes to cutting records now, and in this day and time, they saying nobody's doing it better than Drake. So
he surpassed Jay-Z.
I mean, that's a good point.
Y'all went all the way to Michael Jackson. I mean, who is he? Is he at a Jay-Z level yet?
Well, see, the whole conversation. Well, see, obviously, Jay-Z hasn't had that many charted Billboard songs as Drake at this point. So Drake, even though, and that's
currently, yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about Jay-Z when he was pumping out music. Is Drake even at that level?
But I don't think.
I
don't think they're talking about like the top 5 dead or alive type thing, right?
Right.
No, I'm talking about popularity. Y'all talking about
Drake. Yeah, Drake right now
out there right now, man. And then I said it earlier. Right now, nobody can really touch Drake because he is a hit machine. He's a hit factory. Again, to repeat, doesn't matter if he is writing his own stuff or if he has ghostwriters, the whole 9. Right now, he is a hit maker. He's a hit factory.
Yeah. But even y'all saying that, though, it depends on where you're going, because if you're doing off streams, he ain't beating Eminem.
Well, no. Well, what they're going for is saying that his charting, on Billboard history, he's one of the most charted artists.
So let's put it like this: there's plenty of people that have a following where they're always going to be the top. Beyonce is one of those people. Jay-Z is one of those people. Eminem is definitely one of those people, and Drake. But if you go from a chart standpoint, I'm talking about worldwide.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Billboard.
I don't think he's touching Eminem. I just don't think
well, I mean, like I said, that Billboard that's what it's considered. It's worldwide. Billboard.
Well, when you said streams, I heard Eminem like sets records on streams every time he puts something out.
Yeah, but the thing is, with charted songs like, and Billboard 100 is all charted, mostly popular music on radio stations, most requested, and now actually streamed. Drake, and it's only 4 people: Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, the Beatles as a group, and Drake, that have accomplished this level of charting on Billboard to have that many songs cracking the top 10 at one time. So
yeah, numbers and all, but I know Drake is popular. To me, the music all sounds to me it's that same shit. I can like music, but I like a variety of music. That's why I'm a big Jay-Z fan. That's why I'm a big Eminem fan, because they bring out different varieties. It's not I can play old Drake and he doing that singing, rapping, and I can put on literally a damn album that's called what's the damn album called? Lover Boy or some shit?
Yeah, Certified Lover Boy.
Same shit. You put that shit on, it's the same shit. The songs where he's singing, he make hits. He sound good, but it's all the same.
All right, so to answer your question, though, Sims, Drake has sold more units than Jay-Z. He has sold 152 million.
I do like y'all said, it's a little easier to get the number out than it was when Jay-Z was putting them out. You still had people legit having to buy CDs and tapes. Now I can just pick up my damn phone and I can have, I got a membership to Tidal and Spotify. If I just click it, that's a damn stream. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, stream Drake, chart it up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even think it's a fair. It's almost like passing yards in football. Back in the day, they just didn't pass as much as they pass now. So I mean, you put Jay-Z back in the day with a bunch of people that could stream. I feel like his numbers would be just. I mean, all these little records they send because that shit's new. So now I don't know
if you heard what I said, Sims. So you got Drake sold 152 million units. Jay-Z sold 125 million units. So
and what compared? Like you talking about overall, or you talking about like with last albums? Like what are you talking about?
Overall, the top 10.
But the whole time, I guess what I'm saying, when you say sell units, are you talking about somebody bought the album via like one of these streaming sites or something? Like how does that work?
So I mean, with that part of it, I'm not clear as far as what the unit means. I'm just going off of the article that I see. It says top 10 selling rappers / hip hop artists of all time. Drake sold 152 million, Kanye 140, Jay-Z 125. And as you said earlier, no one's touching M. M is at 225 million.
And one reason when you just said that list, why I think that list is pointless is because if we go by that list, that means we got to say Kanye number 2. And if you talking about me from an artist there, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell you already know what I'm going to go. You done said the cuss word, you're going to set me off. You know what I'm saying? That bullshit he just put out.
Don't you say nothing bad for me. Don't you say nothing bad.
Yeah, that bullshit he just put out, and he over here gonna have motherfuckers waiting on that bullshit, man, please. I'm waiting on K-Dot.
You ain't like Donda?
Hey, there's a song getting released tonight from J. Cole and Joyner Lucas. I'm waiting on it. And then J. Cole just released a song, I think a day or two ago.
Yeah, it's
K-Dot is coming out. Them artists, dog. Them motherfuckers that get me excited. That Kanye bullshit.
They got a long way to go, though.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, I told you, I've enjoyed Lucas, but he got a long way to go.
Oh yeah. But I'm just talking about when we have this current list of top people, I feel like if Drake made an album, this is what would get me on the Drake train. If he just make a damn album, like he got a song on there, I think it's called 7 a.m. something, where he rapping. If he could just make an album with that loving shit, the whole, I just can't.
But that's but here's the deal, though. Here's the deal. He's not making an album for you. He ain't making an album for me. He's making an album for them teenage girls.
He's a certified lover boy.
That's where the money comes in.
He made an album called Certified Lover Boy, and he stuck to it. Yeah.
So, like, even by y'all saying that it automatically alienates me with saying.
I got you saying. Hey, listen, me amongst other millions of fellas that was on social media, everybody was like, yo, all the girls was like, yeah, this lit Drake, this that Bob Drake. All the dudes was like, what the fuck am I listening to, man? You making me want to call up and apologize to somebody that I ain't spoke to in about 10 years. Here's
the formula that Drake has done. Drake is, if you quiet as kept, has turned into Ja Rule, but to another level.
Hey,
LL, he like LL on the he like one of the level of LL.
Because that was back in the day when 50 Cent was talking to Ja Rule. Then 50 Cent came right behind him and made an album the same way.
He did the same type of stuff.
He like, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I get it, man. I mean, I'm not hating on Drake in any kind of way. His formula works. But I mean, for me, if you're talking about me and I guess is what we call him. If the nigga is labeled as a rapper, if Drake is, I don't think he's a rapper to me. Like, he can do that, but I just don't label it. As a rapper, hell no. He ain't no J-Cole.
The kid can rap. He can rap.
He can rap, but I mean, he's not putting it. He's like Andre 3000, dog. We know he's a rapper, but he'll give me 25 songs, but he'll rap on 2 of them. So I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like, what can I do with that?
That's the market.
That's the market.
That's how he keeps you listening, or me listening, by just dropping a couple of bars. But his mainstay is the chicks, man. I get it.
Nigga don't keep me listening. Look, I found the 2 songs on the album that's good, and I'll listen to those. All them love songs.
But he got you though.
Well, but this is another thing. So this is what I need to understand about streaming. If I got Tidal, which I get all this music anyway, it's not like I paid for the album. I could just go to it and listen to it.
But you stream.
That's how artists get paid. The minute that you click on that artist and your song begins to play, he begins to get a paycheck immediately. Oh, he don't get a paycheck, but he get points. Put it that way.
I mean, it's just hard. That's just weird to me. So every time I play it, he gets a point.
Yep, he gets. That's how for every stream, every time his song is played.
So literally, you're listening to those two songs, but that goes into the joint of the album. So now his album has been spun or streamed 20 million times because
that's kind of whack to me, dude. Because I mean, that ain't even. So
Hey,
I mean,
Sim.
let's say that. So we're saying it that way, but let's compare that to what they had to do back in the day, where they actually had to
sell
the
the
damn
album.
album. Yeah, they
And
didn't
see,
have the
you know
money
what?
to just click a stream.
And
So I
that
mean, I just don't think it's a fair comparison.
and
And
that
He definitely ain't
differentiates
no
this.
Michael Jackson.
And that's
Definitely
why
Michael Jackson.
a lot of rappers now always ask, how the fuck did these guys get so much money doing the same shit we were doing? And the streams in that industry is what opened up that revenue where these guys can make millions of dollars and put out 2 albums a year, 1 or 1.5 albums a year. And your favorite rapper put out an album that went diamond and only got a check for maybe 1.5. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that is the way of the playing field.
Yeah,
that's why I just I kind of judge people. Yeah, that's why I just don't care about the, like. I don't know, man. It's just weird to even talk about it because you can look at numbers and this and that.
Catch Me Outside girl dropped the album. She was
shit like that.
Right, hottest album, which it wasn't an album. She had 2 or 3 songs that were good, right, that people listened to. But because it was the 2 or 3 songs, she had the hottest album of the year a couple years back.
For streams,
right?
So,
but
I don't know.
When you
Like I said, it takes away from the artist's integrity, but it adds to the artist's pocket. And I do understand that, Sims, because now people are like, as long as I have a song that people listen to, I can get paid. It don't matter if it's
kind of what we were talking about last week with Tyrese, right? Where he goes, what did he say? Like the shit show or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
This is the shit show. Like I just said earlier, dude, you can pick up your phone, you can have your laptop, whatever it is, make a song, make a hook, hit the thing up to Spotify, and boom, next thing you know, you the hottest. How do you think Little Nas got put on? Because he had a nice little beat to it. It had a nice little twerk to it. Boom, people bought into it before they knew anything about him. Right? And it was kid friendly, dude. This dude they did the right thing with this dude. Go into elementary schools, go into all different. I'm a DJ. When I was playing that song, they wanted that song 16 times a night.
And he bought his beat from fucking SoundCloud. He bought the beat from SoundCloud, and that for real, he didn't even produce it. He bought the beat from SoundCloud.
All of that, man, is history. When the game has changed, and again, us as old heads, I get upset with it because it doesn't put out quality hip hop. And you're gonna tell me Young Thug is a great artist? Hell no.
That's how it is. Hey, you know what?
Lazy as fuck.
And speaking of, let's get into some shit in our generation. I don't know if y'all heard about this, right?
I'm ready for it.
But Puffy and Jermaine Dupri been going back and forth. Reason I know y'all heard about this. Well, it started. I don't know how it actually started, but it was a challenge. The gauntlet was thrown down between Jay-Z. Jermaine Dupri and Puff Daddy. And this was Puffy's response right here. Beloved, you my nigga, but your arms too short to box with God. You ain't got enough hits. I'll smash you with just Biggie and Mary. But I do have the utmost respect for you as a musical legend. Dre the only one that can get into the ring with me. And he was like, love. Jermaine Dupri responded, somebody let Diddy know I'm in Madison Square Garden right now in the garden. We can get it on, basically. He gonna need some real motherfucking training for me. And he's basically fired back at Diddy, and he's also said that Jermaine Dupri said Diddy can't stand at the same table with him as far as producers and songwriters. He was like, the only few people that can stay with him is like Dallas Austin in this era, Missy Elliott, and he said only a few. He said, but really, Jay-Z, even though he may have the songs as a producer, he really don't produce the music. And he was like, he definitely don't write his own music. So basically it's becoming a conversation where they're saying Jay-Z might be, God damn, stop saying Puffy may be using his stature in the music industry more than his actual body of work to kind of back up his shit talk. With Jermaine Dupri is like, I ain't scared. He's like, we can do it anywhere, anytime, and I can prove to you that I have more music, better music, better music and more hits than Puff Daddy. So, and since this is definitely in our arena, because you know we grew up off of this. Literally, we grew up doing it. Put it that way, not off of it, but we grew up during the the reign of Bad Boy and So Def and Jermaine Dupri, and people always kind of felt like he was kind of the South Puffy. How JD was kind of emulating the style, the flash and everything that Puffy basically brought to the industry. You know, we all knew about the shiny suits and the flash and Jay-Z. I mean, Puffy was really the first one that kind of put that high class, high fashion in rap, because before then everybody was, and you got, I mean, Rock, I'm sure you a little bit, more New York guy than I am. I got family there, but New York, I mean, rap used to be about the Timbs and the baggy jeans and the hoodies and what I'm saying, the lugs and all that shit. And then Puffy came out and was like, nah, we're gonna start wearing some Italian cut suits, and we wearing Versace linen, and we wearing all the high class fashion, Chris Dior, and we talking about Donna Karan. So he kind of brought that flashiness to rap.
All the stuff that we couldn't afford. Yes.
All
yes,
that, he started putting, now everybody's talking about it. Before Biggie, and Biggie even said it himself, Puffy was telling him, yo, put this in there. We want to show the champagne side of life and not always the gutter in the 40s. So, my hat goes off to Puffy for that. But I mean, I can go on for days and days, But what do y'all fellas think? Do you think
as the only New Yorker on here, I'm prejudiced, of course. I don't see this being like a neck and neck competition. I just think off the top of my head what he said as far as like Mary and Biggie. He's absolutely right. Really, what you gonna hit me with? Crisscross? You gonna hit me with Bow Wow? You gonna hit me with Escape? Listen, and again, to use the words I said earlier, not to discount or discredit this dude, but at the end of the day, he ain't got the hits to stay with Puff.
So you just disrespected dude with that. So let me tell you, I got a list of the people that Jermaine Dupri produced, because you just went to Chris Cross. You went to his wackest motherfucker. He produced Mariah Carey, Janet Jackson, Usher, Ludacris, Jay-Z, TLC. Them some legit hits in there. You can't don't be going to Chris Cross and damn. That's just disrespectful, man. And you talking about a hit? This motherfucker produced Ludacris, dog. Everybody know Ludacris songs. He can pull a Ludacris song from plenty of places and probably got good 10 hits right there, bro. I mean, move, bitch, get out the way. I mean, we can go all day, dog. Come on now. So all I'm saying is I don't think it's as lopsided. I'm with you though, because my favorite artists are Jay-Z, Biggie, stuff like. I mean, don't get it twisted. I'm gonna be with them. I don't Puff Daddy with Mitchell. I don't think Puff that Dre smoke though. I don't think he none of that. Don't want that.
Right. I mean, I would think it would be more entertaining, in my opinion, if we would have gotten a Dre Puffy type of thing, because of the number of artists that Dre produced.
Be all over them, dog, because their rap is R&B. Like I don't know how they would kind of like set it up, because they got different genres.
Hey, Sims, you know what? And that's a great point, because I was thinking the same thing while y'all were talking, and the songs you were naming, I was like, yeah, but for JD, he didn't rap on he didn't really have his own album per se, which Puffy could do more his own album, even though he didn't write any raps. But Puffy can do a lot of songs that he didn't even have featured artists that I would say JD wouldn't be able to contend with. Now, if they're going to just have a star-studded event where they just play everybody's song and then Puffy do his verse from the song, or JD do his verse from the song.
I don't know if you saw the very first one with Timberland and Swiss. They didn't go through you know, singing the songs. They basically put the fire to
played them, right?
Right. They played their things like, yo, this was one of the joints. Boom, hit him in the head with something. Boom, hit him in the head with something. So that's how it went. It wasn't them jumping on the mic.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying.
Right. Okay, I got you.
Because one thing had one of my favorite songs is on that old Puffy album. Because on that Victory song, I always got that on my playlist when I go to the gym.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I don't know if they saying their specific music or they talking about just music they randomly produce.
Right there. That's and Puffy said JD can't get past that.
That's what he said. I don't know
He
if
said Jay-Z, no bullshit. He said JD can't even get past this.
That's bullshit, first of all, but that's whatever.
Okay,
well, Puff Daddy made some music, but it wasn't like it was.
What song could JD come with that's gonna keep the crowd hyped that he rapped on? Besides Jay-Z, the joke with Money Anything with Jay-Z or the Brat, what was that? So Funkified? Like, what is JD gonna come with out his musical catalog where he actually spit a verse that's gonna be like, yo, he got it Puffy with that one?
Yeah,
I think Puffy would win, but I think we're sleeping on. I think we kind of sleep because when I first heard him talking on that live, and he kept bringing out Crisscross and all this other shit, I was like, dude, I could have sworn he produced other people like big names like Mariah Carey.
Well, he did.
Ludacris.
He definitely did.
I'm like, so he got some legit songs. I'm like, you ain't about to be, you like disrespecting him talking about, oh, crisscross, jump, that bullshit.
Hey, that's the North and the South. And the funniest thing is Lil Duval, the comedian, came out and said Puffy does it was a tweet he put out or something on the Instagram, but he was social media, but he was like, Puffy keeps forgetting that Jermaine Dupri represented the South, and like 75 to 80% of the country is the South. Only the city upper, New York, Boston, whatever, somewhere in DC, Philly, Baltimore, that's really considered the East Coast. The rest of the country is country.
Hey,
so,
but Puff Daddy got the ultimate equalizer, dog. He got Biggie. Biggie is just, that crossed all borders, dog. That Biggie, when you put on Biggie, like when he threw out, because on the live, he said, oh, what you gonna do when I put on One More Chance? In my mind, I was like, you gonna lose. I was like, you lost out. You like to go next song. One More Chance on our favorite song. Hey, I'm just
at the end of the day, I look at it like this because I look at what the Locks did, right? And I said it when they were doing it. I was like, the Locks got prepared through the school of Puffy. So professionalism, stagism, and all that stuff. So now you really look at what Puffy would end up doing. I wouldn't play one Biggie song the first half of the night whatsoever. I might put one out there just to be like, this is one of my favorite jam, boom. But I wouldn't play another one because at the end of the day, it's going to be hit after hit after hit after hit after hit, particularly with Mary too.
And Puff Daddy's more of an entertainer. I think just stage presence wise, I think he'll kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be more interesting than this Ja Rule Fat Joe. That's for sure.
That's the thing.
And y'all shooting on Ja Rule. What happened to Ja Rule and Fat Joe?
Ja Rule, Fat Joe versus?
Yeah. Versus. And Ja Rule mollywopped him.
I thought
Ja Rule mollywopped Fat Joe?
Mollywopped him.
What?
Oh Ja Rule had a bunch of them damn hits though, dog.
Yeah,
I mean, unfortunately, I hate Ja Rule. Yeah, I mean he had a bunch of hits.
And Joe didn't have too many hits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Ja really took it to him and did his thing.
Dude, if you really see, it's time kills a lot of stuff, dog. But if you really go back,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll be honest with you. Had Ja Rule battled 50, he would have mollywopped 50.
I don't know about that.
The disrespect.
How many songs did 50 have, man? How
many? So I got defensive. Before I thought about it.
How many chart songs does 50 have?
Bro, 50 can just do the whole Get Rich or Die Trying album and murder Ja Rule because every one of those songs charted. Hey bro, Get Rich or Die Trying, all 13 songs from that album damn near charted.
This dude had hit after hit after hit after hit after.
Yeah, hey, yo, he can hurt Ja Rule. Then he can still come out with the shit off the Power. He can come out and do the goddamn Power theme song.
Hey.
People don't be sleeping on 50 Cent.
And another thing with 50 Cent, he got a monster that he featured with a lot, dog. You put one of them songs on he got with him, he gonna kill the game, dog. Cause he got a lot of them. He got a lot of featured M songs.
He's not. Ja Rule ain't fucking with 50 Cent.
I'm telling you,
he's out of there.
That's the only thing. The way they can do their features.
If I feel you rock on at the time when Ja Rule was hot, he was on fire. But 50 Cent one album had more songs that people are popularly known, and that's the one album that Ja Rule has in maybe 10-song catalog. And so
you know, throw on that In the Club. That was one of the big, In the Club hit. That shit's still in the club. But I think that would be Fat Joe. I feel like rapper wise is better, but I'm like Ja Rule. He just had more hits, dude. Fat Joe. Right. I couldn't right now tell you like I tried to listen to Fat Joe. I got more respect for him, and I did really listen to his music, but he ain't messing with no Ja Rule, unfortunately. And I hate saying that. I'm not no Ja Rule man.
Hey, well, let's get in this one. So yeah, Puffy, Jermaine Dupri, let's get out here and do this shit. The fans want to see it. We want to see that with you shit y'all talking. Because Puffy, Dre might, I don't know, because Dre the type of will bring Snoop up there. Dre got a lot more people that are coming actually to the stage than you
don't want Dre, dog.
He'll bring Snoop and Eminem up there and fuck up.
I think he just need them too. Snoop and Eminem, dog. He don't. I'm sorry, dog. No. Did he have two?
Yeah, he got Dre. Yeah, we all know that. Hey, yo, check. I don't know if you brothers heard about this lately, but this chick, Brittany Renner. You heard about this? And this guy. Let me get rid of this shit, man. No, this shit ain't.
This is why you kids. This is a PSA announcement from Uncle Rock. Always wear a condom.
Dude. These fucking dudes, man. That's what these on Instagram models.
All right, check this out.
Hey, y'all. Hi. It's officially stepdaddy season. Yeah, what up? I got the car in the back. Let's go to the park. Don't let your baby mama or your baby daddy block your blessings. I know in theory it sounds good keeping the same person to have kids with, but that's insanity as well. So if it doesn't work out with them, it'll work out with someone else. Okay? It just will. That's how that goes. And trust me, I know it's ghetto. It is so ghetto being a baby mama, and thinking about multiple baby daddies is scary. But me and my baby are gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. We're moving forward, onward, upward. Okay. I know a lot of you are skeptical about talking to people with children, but I can assure you, the baby mamas now, today, we don't give a damn. You can have them. I have exited the rat race. I am not a threat. I want you to be around for a long time, not a good time. You can hold my son, put him on your story. I trust his judgment. I really do. I really, really do. I just want you guys to be happy. I swear I do. Now, I'm not a threat, but, you know, I can't speak for the other hoes that you don't know about. You know, maybe I'll definitely be in your favor. But I am here for it. Okay, like, people move on. Save you should have got the ring first. It wasn't gonna work out anyways. It just wasn't gonna work out. Let's laugh together and let's raise this baby, you know? Ooh, it's ghetto. It's so fucking ghetto. In conclusion, stepdaddy season. Big aura, big lumber, big follow through need only apply.
That is Brittany Renner, IG Sports, Instagram, body trainer or consultant. model, she's basically a honeypot, the Instagram honeypot. I don't know if you heard about this chick, but about a year ago, she put out a tell-all book of how she slept with entertainers and basketball players, and she's big on social media. She actually came out and put out a small, brief PSA to women and was like, yo, if you want to trap a nigga, and then her exact words were, go date an athlete, basically a ball player, because those guys don't like to wear condoms. So, and that's how they roll. She put out this PSA announcement about close to a year and a half ago. You can see by her actions she's borderline psychotic. But our homeboy, but not our homeboy, I'm just saying that just to be funny. But you got everybody. I don't know if you guys know who PJ Washington is.
Basketball player, right?
Basketball player. Yeah, he's in the NBA. He just got. He's a rookie. I think he's going into his second or third season now with the Charlotte Hornets. But he's basically had a baby. They basically had a child together. And no longer than maybe 2 months after the child was born, the divorce or whatever separation came between them two. And she's back. She's back in the streets as we see. Let's say former NBA player Gilbert Arenas responded denying that Renner would earn millions of dollars, because people were saying that this woman would get like $200,000 a month in child support. But Gilbert Arenas also spoke on and said the maximum in California is $30,000 per month. So he kind of really broke it down. And I was, Gilbert Arenas, we all know how he is and how he talks, and he basically is a straight fucking shooter. But he broke it down for us. And who knows better than NBA basketball players how much a baby mama is going to get, But he broke it down and said to DJ Academics, who came out and said she was supposed to get $200,000 a month, which would round off to like what, $2.4 million a year. So he was just breaking down the contract for PJ. PJ's $4 million a year. I mean, for 4 years for $12 million. That's 7.8 guaranteed, which is about 1.6 guaranteed every year. That pushes about $160,000 a month before taxes. After taxes, about $140,000. So he said in Cali she would get $70,000 to $30,000 in child support if he gets zero visitation, which is still a come up though. He said basically she may get like about 20. If you see, this is a shot of her and this is actually during the time he still played at Kentucky before he was even fucking drafted. She was already in his pocket before he got drafted. That's how how they work. The game to be sold, not told. But she basically been scouting this boy since before he graduated college. I mean, before he left college. I'm sorry, and went to play for the pros. And she had a baby by him. They were supposed to be in some serious relationship as fiance or man and wife, which debunked.
I might hurt some feelings here, but it's all about me teaching, man. I think in my entire lifetime I've splashed twice. I don't understand. I guess I look at it as far as what I saw with my father being out there and having, multiple kids. I didn't want to be that. Plus, right. My father did actually sit me down and talk about, AIDS and all this other stuff, things that you can't come back from back in the day. And so those things stuck with me. But at the end of the day, I did not want to have 15 kids like this man. So I never understood. I bust a nut the same way.
The rest of it, ain't nobody busting it any different.
I never understood that. I have a cousin, unfortunately, 9 kids.
Well, I think this is actually his first kid.
But I'm just saying, I'm more or less saying, like, I don't understand why we as men can't take responsibility for our nut. Busting the plastic, bro. Busting the plastic.
So, like, That's what all this Instagram and stuff is, man. It's just a business behind the business, bro. There's a lot of people in troll off Instagram. Look at Deshaun Watson in the NFL. Like he was getting his dumb ass getting masseuse off it on Instagram. But I learned along when I was in the military in San Diego, our chief told us off jump. He's like, look, man, he said women around here are a little different when you're around military bases. He was like, because one thing about it, you have a kid with them, they can report you to the command and they got a consistent check coming in. He said, so you want to watch who you holler at. And I mean, we talk about it from a military standpoint. You know they own these dudes in the NBA. I mean, that girl you said she's $30,000 a month? Shit, that's a lot of damn money.
No, they said the maximum she could receive if he was in California would be but Gilbert Arenas broke it down and said she may get between $7,000 to $10,000 a month. I mean, which is still ain't bad for doing nothing.
I mean, it's extra income, dog. She pulling in $7,000 to $10,000 a damn month, bro. I mean, but that's the thing, dog. Like, it's the ignorance of the dude, dog. I know the chicks look good on there, and I know but that shit ain't worth it. I just don't see. I never thought it was worth it. It can be the baddest chick ever, be the dumbest motherfucker you ever find. So
I mean, especially the craziest shit about me is it's not like she was. It was a movie called. I know y'all seen it, The Mac with Max Julian, and it was a scene with a cop. It was a white cop, and he was in the room with the No, I'm sorry. It was off. I'm sorry. It was off of. Damn. Superfly. I think it was a scene. Was a cop. He was in the room with a fat black woman, and she was a prostitute. And it's like in the 70s, so the racial element of it was. But he was telling the fat black woman, he was like, you know what? He would grab the whole titty. This is one of them old black exploitation. He's a white guy. He's in the hotel. He said, you know why I love you? And he's talking to the fat black prostitute, this woman. And he was like, because you're an elephant. He was like, and I don't mean because you're size. He said, because I know who you are because I can see you coming. And it was two black brothers that walked in the room, and you could tell they was already bad news. They was brothers, but they was the gangster style. It wasn't it was gangsters. And he turns and looks at the black guys. He was like, with those people, he said, I don't trust. He said, those guys are giraffes. He said, because they always see you. When you think they don't see you, they see you, and they quietly walk up on you. He was like, and I don't trust giraffes. And my whole point with that whole fucking proverb is Brittany Renner is a elephant. She's not even a fucking giraffe. You see this coming. Like, she literally projects this image. And it was, like I said, before she was with PJ Washington, they only been together for like 9, literally enough time to make a baby. She had put out, like I said, many posts and media, postings and whatever the fuck, and podcasts or whatever. But she openly said that she slept with 24 guys in 2018, and she named them. She was like, 8 regular guys, 11 athletes, 4 actors. Like, she just went on. She's like I said,
resume.
She gives you her resume. So for this kid at 23 to get her pregnant and been together only enough time to actually create a baby, I have to say to myself, like, bro, what kind of people are you even surrounded? Who's in your circle?
She loves me.
This shit coming.
She loves me.
She
wouldn't do that.
Money don't bring common sense, bro. Money.
There you go.
Good at the sport, bro. That's why
like, where's his people?
That role model shit and all that other crap.
A lot of these kids don't have that in the beginning, man.
Yeah, where's your role model? Where's your manager? Where the fuck is your manager?
I'll throw this out, man. I had a best friend who got drafted by the Jets, and I stayed back out of the circle because I saw everybody pecking. Give me. And I didn't want to be that guy. If he ever wanted to give me tickets, that would have been it. So anyway, the dude comes to my house, to one of my barbecues, and brings a dime bitch. I mean, certified, this woman stacked from head to toe.
You had to put some sunshades on in your own house.
And I brought him to the side and I said, my dude, you know I love you. You know you my man. I said, but what's happening right now is you got to be able to see that people are coming at you from all angles. This chick, all the friends, everybody loving you. And he took it for what it was. He was like, nah, I'll be straight. I'll be straight. And then I think probably the next year he got cut and then he never got picked back up. And he slowly saw all of that stuff disappear and came back and said, yo, I should have listened to you earlier because you were 100% right. I was like, whoa, I didn't mean to say his name. I was like, my man, you tell me, remember we dark and ugly as ever.
Right.
How are we picking up these dime bitches, bro? It ain't happening like that. And he understood. He got it. But that's what it was, man, is that these kids don't have anybody in their corner, particularly that young, to be able to tell them spit game like that. And some people, they do hear it, but they're like, why are you trying to hate on my stuff? Why are you trying to hate on me? Because that's what they get out of it. So, you can say what you got to say, and they can take it, or they not take it.
Damn.
But
hey, PJ Washington.
This dude's a fool.
Yeah, you're still a fool, man. Come on, the days, and like I said, and I tell anybody with so much knowledge at your finger, at the tip of your fingers, it is so much knowledge to gain about even a person. For that man to fall into that trap, now they say he's on Instagram and social media begging someone, I just want to see my son. I just want to see my son. People just don't have, if I could take certain things back, I would, but I just really want to see my kid. And he's on show, and he's already dating another Instagram model, right as we speak, that has a son already. PJ Washington already moved on, as you can see. Or he in the Brittany Renner little post she just did. He's already moved on with another Instagram model who has a son already. So obviously he's a glutton for punishment. That's what that is. He just love it. His mama need to find hopefully his mother is still alive, and then all her mind and marbles, because she need to take a belt to wherever he live and whoop his ass from the front door to the back for doing that shit.
This is where being frugal, being cheap comes into play. Where I ain't trying to give a lady not more than what she needs to have if she ain't mine.
It's no bullshit. Amen to that, brother. This story here, it's been a lot of conversation going on, which was this honestly always goes on for real, about black folks and how we seem to be, when we missing, I guess they say, it's a big issue that's being brought to, I wouldn't say to our attention because we already fucking knew about it, but how black people, when they're missing, they're not really reported. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people of color and minorities, not just blacks, indigenous, and people like the, Native Americans, Latino, anything other than what's considered white folks. Once they are missing, it seems like no one really gives a damn or cares enough to say, in the media. We care, but in the sense of the media, no one really speaks up. Nobody really gives a voice to these people. So, like I said, this article here is about this young brother. His name is Daniel Robinson. He's been missing for like 3 months. In the Grand Canyon, his car went off and careened somewhere into one of not the Grand Canyon, but into an embankment along the Grand Canyon, but his body hasn't been found. And he's been missing for like 3 months. And his mother actually took to social media and spoke about this young man, Daniel Robinson, 24-year-old geologist from Tempe, Arizona. Or is it Tempe, Arizona? Tempe, Arizona, went missing June 23rd after leaving his work site in Buckeye. I think it's Buckeye, Colorado. Buckeye, Colorado. No, it's not Buckeye. And wherever, Buckeye fucking Canyon somewhere. But according to reports, no one notified. He didn't notify of anybody of his whereabouts. People say that he had normal behaviors after he came up missing. Well, they says he was somewhat not himself, but after he came up missing, his family reported him missing, and basically the police kind of brushed it off, like, you know, he'll come around, or, you know, he'll pop up somewhere. But it was no, you know, Amber Alerts. It wasn't shit on TV. It wasn't no. These are some of the issues. I mean, things were said. This is Joy Reid. If you don't know, she was on here last week talking about the shit with Nicki Minaj, saying about the COVID vaccine.
But the way the story has captivated the nation has many wondering, why not the same media attention when people of color go missing? Well, the answer actually has a name: missing white woman syndrome, the term coined by the late and great Gwen Ifill to describe the media and public fascination with missing white women like Lacey Peterson or Natalie Holloway, while ignoring cases involving missing people of color. Joining me now is Derrica Wilson, co-founder and CEO of the Black and Missing Foundation, and Lynette Gray Bull, founder of Not Our Native Daughters, an organization created for the awareness of the missing, exploited, and murdered Indigenous women and children. Thank you both for being here. You know, I bring up this point because there's a case that's so similar. A journalist friend of mine, Derrica, sent me this story about a young, you know, about some other people that are missing. There's one guy whose name is Daniel Robinson. Daniel Robinson is a young black man. He's only 24 years old, 5'8", 165, black hair, brown eyes. That's his description. His dad has hired a private investigator to find him. He's missing part of an arm. He was last seen driving away from his job site in the Buckeye, Arizona desert on June 23rd.
Buckeye, Arizona. Sorry, folks.
It's very similar. He's missing it at this, you know, same part of the world. It's a case that it has all of that same kind of sizzle, the sort of mystery of it. This young man who just goes missing. I never heard of it until this friend of mine sent it to me. And I guess that's that's the issue, isn't it?
It is definitely the issue, and we have been sounding the alarm for nearly 14 years because of this. When it comes to missing persons of color, men, women, and children, our cases are not taken seriously, and no one.
That's basically summing up what I was saying. And it was it wasn't too much left in that clip, but it's also plenty and many of young Indigenous women, Native Americans, as they want to be referred to. They come up missing all the time, and none of this shit is ever reported in the news and media. And we all know how that is. Honestly, sometimes even in black communities, we make conversations with our own children and women as men talk to women. We already tell you better watch what the fuck you're doing out there, because you can come up missing. It's a lot harder for us to find you. Not because we can't see you in the dark, it's because you too dark for people to see you. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. That was just something I just wanted to speak on. If y'all want to drop a little knowledge on it, the shit is the truth. So they found a little white girl, but the white boy, I forgot his name, he's on the run. So they found the girl, but her fiance, white guy,
Megan, I believe it is.
Yeah, homeboy's on the run. They can't even find him. He knew as soon as they said they uncovered the body, he was on the first thing smoking. But this brother Daniel Robinson. Go ahead.
Yeah, the issue with the world is just with our country. It's just the fact that you can always tell white people control shit. Because when it comes down to it, me personally, I don't go there. I don't believe in I need to act different because I'm black shit. I put myself on the same level as any other person. You're a person, I'm a person, so give a damn what you're looking like. And for even the dumbass, I check people all the time when it comes to shit like that. So like the people that come in and think they're supposed to get help before other people, no, you're gonna wait. These people are here, you wait your turn. It's just that thing in America where we have this white woman going, so we all should be worried about it. But there was a black girl that was missing right before that, and ain't nobody ever talk about it. And they could be the same equal thing, but people gonna care about the white person and not the black person. I'm just done with that shit. Like I don't put no energy behind it. I'm glad people like who she had on there say that that's something they've been trying to push. But the people that control that stuff, I mean, they white people, dog. Like white people just, it's almost like the cops that don't shoot the white guy. They identify with the white guy. They look at the black guy as a threat. I mean, so it's just it's an automatic promotion in their mind. We gotta go find this innocent, cute, cuddly white woman. Oh yeah, and that black girl missing too. I mean, it's so.
He's oh yeah, and that black girl missing too. I think she's somewhere around here. If she ain't within a 40-mile radius, if she ain't within a 10-mile radius, I wouldn't even say 40. If she ain't within a 10-mile radius of the black girl, I mean of the white girl that's being found, then she ain't got a chance. I think it was. Oh,
you heard about the black girl they found just because there was a car sitting in a damn spot, and they said they found her in the trunk. Like nobody looking for this chick, but they just found her in the damn trunk, and she had been in there for like weeks.
Damn. Wow.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. But you know, with the white woman, we got it's all over TV, dude. Like it's all over the damn place. So,
here we go. I mean that's this is you know and sorry, listen. I don't want to belittle, and anybody saying this, I don't want to belittle her, you know, being murdered. I don't want to belittle her being missing, her importance to her family, to the people that love her and, you know, want justice for this young lady. This is not anything against her or her family or, you know, and I hope that her shitty boyfriend and fiance, whatever, that committed this crime is brought to justice because she's still a human being, just like Sim said. As all people should be treated. But as we know that it's just a difference. And I think it's basically what you said, Sims. It's who and what they identify with is what they're going to have more concern for. So, I mean, for black folks, maybe I don't know, since BET got sold to Viacom and we don't really have our own way of doing it, but maybe our black, we do have now, there are websites and there are social media sites where black people are posting and minorities are posting missing persons of colors. I'm sorry for those who watching. I didn't do my homework enough and get the sites or the.
Well, I mean, it's black media, dog. Like we put a lot of attention in the main shit that we see, but there are legit black media stations that are about us. It's shit that our community needs to look into and quit letting the media deter us with all this other bullshit. So, like, you know, on the black media site, you might see about a black person being lost. You ain't about to see that shit on CNN or MSNBC.
I mean, you look at what was that, Atlanta? All of the girls that been missing from Atlanta all these years.
Yeah, that's crazy, dog. Like,
and ain't nobody found nobody, done anything about. You know, listen, you want to be a serial killer? Go to Atlanta.
Go to Atlanta and hunt black people.
That boils down to.
And we're not telling nobody to be here on Fuck Your Opinion, the podcast. The comments and views that are expressed on this show are only solely those of the individuals on the show and not those of the show. So if you're a serial killer and you say, you know what, that's a good idea.
His bottom line is there's way too many people that are missing in Atlanta that have not been found for years. That it doesn't take a rocket science that there's some type of serial killer that's out there doing what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, we had some missing in the city. In DC, there's a young lady in the Washington, D.C. area. For those who watch the show, a young lady, look at the missing persons, she's an African-American young female. I don't know her name. I can't remember off top. But 11-year-old African-American female was missing in Lanham, Maryland, and she was just going to the store from her home, and she's been missing for like the past 2 or 3 days. So if you want to check that out, just on any local station for Washington, D.C., that's in WB, whatever the fuck, Fox News. It's 11-year-old child that's missing, young lady from the Lanham area. I can't always remember and don't have all the notes I should have on these situations and subjects, but we just fill you in.
We watch too much CSI and shit. Like, we don't realize, like, cops don't even, like, these police stations, they don't even solve more than half of these crimes, dog. The kidnapping, all that. This ain't like the damn shows where they go find a clue and they go find these motherfuckers.
They have it solved in 40 minutes.
Yeah, you look at the whole statistics. You look at real statistics and stuff like rapists and how many people get away. and don't get convicted of nothing, or like we're talking, if they're a certain hue, they get way less time than other hues. I mean, there's like real statistics on this stuff. Like this country is very lopsided, and that's like with the people that get pissed off about the Black Lives Matter shit, that slogan. I'm like, y'all just really don't get it, dog. It ain't really just Black lives, Asian, everybody else. Pretty much non-white lives matter. I mean, it really comes down to that. Like, it's like, I had one, just to throw this in a perspective, there was one fool who was on this all lives matter shit and was like, y'all, and said something about country and, you know, everybody going back to their shit. I was like, dude, it's funny you could say that, but then you call somebody a Native American. I said, you do realize when you say Native American, that means they are originally from here, right? That means you're like, if you're not a Native American, that means you came here. Like, you're literally saying you're the American, and I'm the one on your side. I said, you don't even realize what the words you use, dog. So I'm like, I mean, what's the debate about? I don't know. The racial dynamic in this country is that's what made the Karens, dog. The Karens kind of exposed that. The privilege of certain people thinking they can do whatever the hell they want to. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's really what it is. So let's go protect all these white women. Got to take care of them.
Got to take care. Hey, but and anybody who sees that, anybody knows in Arizona, whatever, young man Daniel Robinson, please, if any information we have or we can see, everybody got eyes. And like we were saying on this show, folks, if you see our shit, you watch our shit, please spread this message. Go to Black media sites, Indian, whatever, minority sites, and look up missing persons for people it don't even have to be around America. It could be just in your neighborhood. It could be something or someone you've seen, and you could really help. So, you know, if just because you don't see that shit on CBS News or on fucking CNN, you go to your own local television, radio, whatever, Black media sites for your area, minority sites, and look up for people of color in your area and see who's missing, because you might have seen something, heard something, anything that can lead to, you know, people being brought home to their families, you know what I'm saying? And all that media that's controlled by you know who, you know what, fuck y'all, you know what I'm saying? Give us a chance to shine too. Hey, you know what, Sam, you said something about Black Lives Matter that brought something to my attention that just clicked. It was a school in Texas where Black Lives Matter and you know, the pride marches and all that stuff. The school basically banned that from the school because they said it was too politically based. So you couldn't put Black Lives Matter posters, banners, T-shirts, or gay pride and all that shit in the schools because it was against whatever their rules. Now, this same high school in Texas, I don't know if you heard about this. Do you heard about this? It was high school kids in Texas had a slave auction trading game that they were actually using on their phones, and the white students were actually having some kind of organized game on their phones where they were ranking and trading black students as slaves. One of the parents found out about the shit and basically came out and exposed it. I mean, and now this is the craziest.
This is the type of shit that would put me. Like, I never would go to jail. This is the type of shit that would put me in jail because I'm somebody getting their ass moved, bro. I mean, it just is what it is. How the hell you gonna be at school and you got a slave trading game? Let me have a kid and my kid in there and I see that motherfucker on his app. There's an ass whooping coming. I don't know who gets it. I can't touch your kid. I guess you earned that ass whooping, but I'm gonna figure out somebody get it. Slave
I'm trying to see if I can blow this up so y'all can see it. If you can see this, it's a student's phone. On a student's phone, it says $100 on blank. They you know, for children's name, they protected the, you know, the students. It says $100 on blank. 15 on blank would be better if his hair wasn't so bad. Somebody put $1 for Chris. Like, and I think one of the administrators and parents actually seen this, you know, on the children's phone, and it was reported to school officials, and they've been having a whole shit about it. Where they said they're going to, as they always say, look into it. You know, every time it comes to something,
I've been seeing these people get caught and then they say they got to do an investigation. Some shit
They gotta
you got to investigate. As soon as you see that somebody did something, yeah, nigga, you fired. Like you need to go. I got to investigate shit.
And it was the kids. These were the children, yo. These was the kids. This wasn't even administration. These were the kids. I believe that, you know, all of those children or that white kids that was involved in that shit, I would have a football field every day filled with. I would take somehow fucking what's some joints they shoot t-shirts and shit out of, or just or one of, and just launch cotton all over the fucking football field for like 100 and for at least I would say 30-40 days straight. I would have them go out in the hottest motherfucking day you can pick in Texas and had each one of them kids pick up cotton from end zone to end zone.
So let me just sum up what you just said. We're going to retaliate from the slave trading game from the white kids by making these same white kids pick cotton on a football field for 30 days.
Goddamn right. I'm talking, and I mean, I want to just like, you know how they got the snow machine? Snow, you know, the snow machines that they got the fake snow, like what's that shit they put the tree shredder or whatever, just take a bunch of pillows and just chuck them in the ass of a cheese shredder and just shoot that shit all over the fucking football field from end zone to end zone. And I give them a whole fucking bag and give them a pillowcase and tell them they need to fill that motherfucker up before the sun go down. Goddamn right.
I wonder if we had third world country laws, right? How long racism would last in this country if we just drug out a racist and strung them up in a tree. Right? I think racism on both sides, all sides, at one point would be over if that's what was going down.
I'm not a string them up guy. What you got, Sam's? Go ahead.
Well, it's the same as kids, dog. A kid gonna be bad until you check their ass. If you let them be bad, they're gonna grow up and be bad as shit. You let these motherfuckers. I mean,
listen, it's learned behavior. You know, that game that's been played, ain't nobody saying nothing at the dinner table when dad said, you know, that Johnson N-word, that ninja, this, that, and the third. Nobody's correcting that behavior. So thus you can get away with doing these games, slave games. I don't know if you guys remember a few years back, which I still have not watched ESPN to this day since they had the auction. They literally had auction. They were auctioning off the draft. That's what it was. It was a draft, but they auctioned players. Like, who thought that? Like, who authorized that to be on television?
Did you say, Sam?
It was a white person who ever did it. I don't remember that. I wish you need to pull that up.
This was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Listen, everything I already tell people, you Google it. You don't got to trust it. Google it. It's there. Because I could not believe that they had an auction for players, bro. Like, again, who was the person in charge? Who was the person in charge of that person? And how did it make it on television?
Hey, it was a draft. But draft ain't no fucking different. You sit out there in your best uniform, your best outfit, your Sunday's best, and they tell you how much they're gonna pay your black ass to go out there and work. That's basically what it is, you know. It's just you get millions of dollars instead of 50 or 100 or nothing. You know, but I'm with y'all, bro. But you know me, Rockers was he say string them up from trees or give them some old fashioned ass with Canaans or ass whooping. But you know me, I'm more cerebral. I want a fucking football field, one of them Texas football fields full of cotton, and I'm talking about from end zone to end zone. And each one of them kids got to pluck every motherfucking strand from out there, every blade of grass, and let them see what it fucking feels like. Because people don't think, but you know what people look at slavery as, and this is honest. I was thinking about this day. People only look at slavery as labor. They don't think about the psychological part of slavery that black people endured, you know, the mental suffering, not alone with the physical. Only thing they think about is niggas picking cotton, but they don't think about the separating of families and all the games that all the mental torment that black people dealt with because of slavery. They just look at it as, well, them niggas was out here picking cotton. Like that's all.
Slavery was a choice.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Nigga, why we always have no Calgary references on here, dog?
Hey, Don't you say nothing bad about it.
I'm just saying, along with other stupid things, like that was probably the dumbest thing I had ever heard in my life.
Let me give you another one. I don't know if you knew the guy, Larry Elder, that ran for governor in California.
Oh, yeah, man, yeah.
He said if reparations were given, they should be given to the slave owners.
Yep.
Jeez. And I googled the slave auction thing. It wasn't the draft, it was a fantasy draft. So it was their fantasy football draft that they had. And we're talking 2017. That's when it happened. 2017. So I have not watched ESPN since 2017.
Larry Elder did say that, going back to that, Sims. He said that the slave masters lost property because slaves were considered property, and they were never compensated for their lost property. And which they lost.
That's when you make a sentence and you put full stop. So that basically, when you make that sentence, you qualify people as property. So slaves property, therefore, no motherfucker, stop right there. No person is property, dog. That's the issue. Like that, you're going as if these motherfuckers had some CDs or, you know what I'm saying? Like they're getting some.
Hey, Sims, listen. Remember, that's what I was saying, Sims. People that don't really look at slavery as a torment of subjugation toward a certain people, they look at it as, well, them niggas was just picking cotton. Like after our ancestors got finished picking cotton, they jumped in a Cadillac and went home, and they wife had a home cooked meal, and they put their motherfucking TV, they put their feet up on the motherfucking couch, read the daily paper, and listened to the radio after they picked cotton. It wasn't that shit.
Yeah, like they weren't getting beat and raped and killed, just that stuff. There's a little bit of that,
right?
Hung, all that stuff. Let's throw that away.
And you know what? And they have desensitized slavery because me just saying that as we talk, even though a lot of black films and movies and things have depicted the actual things that went on during the slave trade, and because of the young, how young minds are heavily influenced. Because of school and the system in which we live in, slavery has been watered down to where people don't really look at, buck breaking and all the things that was so horrible of families being actually physically torn apart purposely, black men being emasculated in front of their wives and children and mothers, and everything that happened along with the idea of the slave trade. They just boil it down to they niggas was just picking cotton. And that's why shit like this happens where, little white kids think that shit is fun to go on their phone and make slave trades. That's why I say, let them go through some slave trade. Let a big ass black man just come in and have sex with their mama right in the middle of the dinner table while they eat their motherfucking tuna fish salad, and be like, yo, you want to see what slavery is? I'm gonna fuck your mama right before y'all get ready to have dinner, and I'm just gonna walk smooth out, and then I want your family to resume all normal frailties.
Well, this just ain't met the right one yet. They saying that shit. They think it's all kids, good, goofy, fun. But let Ray look at one of them damn phones, and let Ray have some common sense, and let Ray whoop that ass.
let Ray whip that ass.
That's all that need to happen. If they get too high,
you know what's crazy with that though? Ray gonna get in trouble for busting that kid's ass.
Ray gonna get in trouble. Yeah.
For busting that kid's ass based off of what's on that phone. You still can't do that, Ray. That's what I'm talking about. Third world country rules. That's what we need. We need third world country rules.
And like I said, that's the subliminal message that we as black people have learned to overcome and still are subjugated to. In the face of violence and attack, we still must maintain what's considered our dignity and not strike blow for blow. But nowadays, rest in peace to Dr. Martin Luther King. But if you looked on social media, niggas ain't having that shit no more.
Nah.
Actually, just watched today Blood Brothers on Netflix with Muhammad Ali and
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X. Very good doc.
Yeah, we ain't having that shit no more. But anyway, while we on the subject, I just like to keep the shit rolling because we already an hour and 30 into it. I know y'all know about this shit here.
Oh,
And no, this is not a picture from the 1800s. This was a few days ago.
Very good. So this, you know, when I said that earlier about why are we looking into it, they brought this up to the lady that's over the little speaker of the White House. And they were like, yeah, we heard that they were whipping these. They basically had Poles whipping these Haitians. And this chick talking about, oh, we got to look into it. Bitch, what you need to look into? All the evidence is there. There ain't nothing to look into. Get rid of them motherfuckers and stop it. Like, what the hell are we looking into? We investigate. You got to investigate the shit. You got camera footage. You got everything.
This man clearly, if you can see right here, this guy clearly has a whip in his hand. It's literally in his hand. Now some of them brothers, they don't look white too. This look like some Mexicans in there. I ain't gonna start no race war. I'm just saying it ain't just some white boys in there. It look like it's some definite Mexicans in there.
Oh, I got a Django in there.
Huh? What you say? What you say, Sam?
So they probably got a Django in there. I mean, you know, he was out there. I mean, I don't really care about it. My thing is, if you beating on people, and we actually get to the point where you're on horses and you beating on people with whips, like what the hell? What else we need to do, dog? Like what investigation needs to happen?
And and this was definitely said. They definitely came out and said it. These is just some of the things. This is how they were living in the Rio Grande in Texas. This is just some of the footage, man, of how these people living in the bridge and living in camps. As you see, a lot of small children. People don't understand. If you watch this, please understand and spread this message. And this ain't no fucking propaganda. A lot of people look at refugees and people who cross from other countries illegally. They look at them as like some gangbanger or some fucking Colombian with a Uzi and 10 kilos on his back. But these are the human beings, the people that are literally crossing. As you see, it is a lot of children. It's a lot of people that are really just giving family members and complete strangers their children to try to get them into this country for them to build a better life. You know what I'm saying? Those
people you talking about, they ain't doing no investigating. They're going to listen to somebody say what it is, and they're going to automatically agree with it. They ain't doing no damn research. They don't care. They're going to think it's some kind of armed militia trying to come into the border and steal their jobs. I mean, it's that dumb shit they listen to. They don't even sound realistic, dog. So, like I said, a bunch of followers in the world, bro.
Well, they were told that refugees were drug dealers and rapists.
Yeah. They were told.
Right. They were told that.
Right. And don't believe that shit, man. If you're watching this show, like I said, we have fun and we talk our shit, but we definitely try to keep you informed. Don't believe that shit, y'all, about all these gun-toting terrorists and they come to bomb our country and they don't even talk about stealing jobs now. Now as they're working with the Taliban and they're sneaking all kinds of arms and they're going to harm the citizens of this nation. No, they ain't. First of all, most of these people that come into this country are dirt fucking poor and broke and spent their lives to get here. It's more motherfuckers waiting on the other side of the border than on our side of the border with guns and ammunition out the ass than the people crossing the border. Trust me, the only thing humane that's left is the way that the ability for this shit to be filmed and people can see what goes on. Because best believe it's more motherfuckers armed in Texas than it is crossing the border with jugs of water and maybe a couple of pair of fucking underwear and some and hopefully some shoes in a bag just to get a taste of freedom. And this was something else that was brought up about this because you know Joe Biden is getting a lot of heat from this shit. The Biden administration. Because as Sam said, once all this footage was brought to the forefront, you know, his people start coming out. What'd you say, Sam?
That's what I don't get about politics, dog. Like that's why to me, politicians ain't got shit to do with the country. If you legit are about the people in the country, you see some shit like that, the first thing come out your mouth should be that shit shouldn't be happening. He would be fine. Whoever that over them saying that that's okay needs to be reporting their ass to me so I can let them go and we bring in other people. I mean, it's literally a crime against humanity, dog. Like that's real shit. Like that's shit that gets you fed time. So I mean, just call it what it is. They got to use all these political points to not hurt their base and all that dumb shit. That shit's starting to get on my nerves, dog. I'm getting tired of all that bullshit.
Actually, since this come out, since this came out, the department in which you see those men on horseback, and they have actually suspended that department. They've suspended the horseback rangers. That's what they call the horseback. It's they actually suspended just that part of Homeland Security and Border Patrol is that has been suspended because this has come out, not because of what they've done, because it came out.
Who approved?
Yeah, that's not who approved it.
Who approved them walking around with whips?
Because somebody literally said, "Hey, Mike, I'm gonna get this whip to help us fight off the Haitians." Okay.
Well, they try to say it was a horse. Most of them, if they said it's horse whips, they wasn't saying they was walking around with bull whips, but horse whips, and some of them was actually photographed and shown using the reins of that. The reins which they used to control the horse as whips themselves. So they weren't. A lot of this was stuff I guess they were using. They could say for horses, but it ended up being used on blacks. Now, this is another crazy thing. We had 90,000 or 40,000. We had thousands of Afghan immigrants coming to this nation. Welcome, open arms. I mean, they went through a rough time getting here. It wasn't all fucking flower petals and roses when they first showed up, but they were welcome. And you had maybe like 100 Haitians, and they was whipped. And then at least 100, almost 1,000 were forced to live under a bridge and tents and shit. Like this shit, man. And this was all started by, and now this is the wildest shit. They interviewed one of the Haitians, because now this shit fucked me up. These are Haitians that were coming from the Mexican border. I think, first of all, number one, that must have freaked them the fuck out. Border Patrol, I know them white boys was freaked the fuck out when they showed up. And they said, "Hey, we got some people crossing the border." I'm sure they thinking, well, it's a average, the Mexicans, the guys they usually round up. When they showed up and it was 100 niggas crossing the Rio Grande, they was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" This is like one of my "what the fuck is going on here" moments too. They had one of
the guys that were talking about. They said like he was basically a white supremacist, so he was loving it. They said he probably loved every day he came to work because he got to be.
He was smiling high, Chris. Saying he was in there
stretching out. I mean, what the fuck, man? White supremacist dream.
Yeah. He showed up a half an hour early to do cardio before he even got started today. Before he got his day started.
Hell yeah. I hate this shit, man. Really.
And they said that, but a lot of them said they was following the new Joe Biden policy. When Joe Biden said this, the borders would be open for a certain amount of people to cross into the United States and get their and find asylum. The actual Haitians, that these people lived in Haiti, a lot of them, because of the turmoil in Haiti, sold their businesses, their homes. They sold whatever they could, gathered money, and moved to places like Guatemala, Honduras, and all those places, below Panama, below the South American border. And once Joe Biden came out and said, "Hey, if you can come to America, we're going to give you asylum," they took that shit literally like the Mexicans and all the Hispanics in South America, and these people decided to give it a chance they damn self. The Spanish people was greeted with aluminum foil blankets and shotguns, but the niggas was they down there Bronco busting niggas with whips and all that shit and making them sleep in campsites. Man, this shit is crazy, man. America, I love you. Land of the free for some people, land of the brave for those who brave enough to survive in this motherfucker. But even if I don't give a fuck, you get the middle finger. The whole Biden administration, whoever. That's like you said, man. I hate politics because they gotta lie to you, but on the back burner. And I know Joe fucked up behind this because he don't like looking bad like this. Joe feeling this. He ain't like, he's not one of them guys that like, oh fuck it. He's somewhere calling Kamala like,
when you guys will realize Democrat Republican, whatever, they don't care about you. They do not have your best interest at heart. It's about them. It's about pockets. It's about how you really think about how a congressman comes in office making $60,000 a year and leaves office when they finally retire with millions,
making 1.5 million a year.
Got estates up in Martha's Vineyard, got a house down in Florida, got a house in Aspen. Come on, man.
But see, that's a specific part of history that people don't pay attention to is when they passed that shit, they legalized, pretty much legalized bribes. They legalized where I can put money into a candidate because I'm helping out his campaign.
Correct.
But yeah, when he gets in office, he gonna help me out with the shit I need. I mean, it was legalized bribery, dog.
It's called a PAC.
And it's public knowledge. Yeah, it's public knowledge.
Yeah.
You can literally pull the companies up and see who they gave money to.
It's PAC money. They say, look, we'll donate $30 million to you. We'll donate $5 million to your campaign, and it's to your campaign, and it's just for you to go out because you believe in the same values and shit as we do. We're gonna donate this PAC money, and legally you can. I mean, Donald Trump did it. He raised $170 million and money for a failing.
They all do it. I can't even single out Donald Trump for that. Like we're talking about
Obama, Jimmy.
Yeah, we're talking about.
I don't care what the name is.
See, one thing about this country is we focus on presidents too much. The motherfuckers that really have the power of the Senate and the Supreme Court and the House of Representatives, them the motherfuckers that make the laws and pass the laws and all that shit. And them motherfuckers, they definitely get paid. They definitely get that money.
Those are the ones that I'm talking about. Those are the ones I'm saying. They come into office making $60,000 a year.
Yeah,
right?
$60,000, somewhere. Yeah. I think it's more than that. I think they're like 110 or something.
Yeah, it's 110, 120.
Okay, but still, at those prices, you can't get a house in Aspen, Martha's Vineyard in Florida. You can't own all that. So, again, that's why I said they don't care about us, man. And we fight so much. We fight so much. And both sides are fighting the same fight. That if we get together, which will never happen, we get together and vote the right part in the Senate, invite the right Congress people in, vote, like you said, in regards to the Supreme Courts, then and only then will our nation get turned around. But nobody.
It's all about divisiveness. That's why if you turn on any channel right now that's talking politics, you'll hear the same term: the left, the right, blah, blah, blah. It's always a pit against the other. And nobody, I don't know why people don't sit back and just see that. Like, literally just don't even look at the TV. Just turn the volume on and just listen. Everything is left, right, left, right, left, right. These are the same damn, these motherfuckers are neighbors. Like, you talking about left, right. You probably could go through a neighborhood and it's left, right, left, right. They all live right next to each other.
Hey, Tucker Carlson is living 2 doors down from Aaron Burnett. You're like, ain't this something?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's all it is. And I mean,
you telling me Anderson Cooper is right down the goddamn street from
the whole time you don't know your neighbor's politics, y'all cool as shit. But let a political conversation happen.
These last couple of years, man, where people are really putting their, social media wise, putting their political view on stage. Do what your parents have done. Keep that in. Go make your vote at the whatchamacallit and call it a day. That I appreciated that more. Just the same where, I don't want to see the racist, is what I'm trying to say, right? I'd rather a quiet racist than an open, out. I don't want to hear your spew. I don't want to hear your bullshit. I just want to pretend to myself that you're a good person.
I don't agree with that, though, because
I hear you.
If I don't know what you are, and I fuck around and put myself in a situation where I'm with you, like he cool, we going out. Yeah. I get around some racist shit, and I'm like, I know my boy got my back. Then I can hit the back of the head. I know, shit. I'm like,
Steve Austin said, cool. Trust nobody.
Hey, remember what I said, Rocky? You got elephants and giraffes. You always trust the elephant. You do not trust the motherfucking giraffe. You understand me?
Butter and guns. What was that?
Butter and motherfucking
guns.
Guns and butter. All right, check this one out, fella. I think this might be our last one. I think I might got one more. Anyway, this guy right here, bro. This is a sad story. It's just one of those what the fuck is going on here segments of my show. This guy right here, Brazilian man, passed away last week following a freak accident on his 43rd birthday in which a beer keg exploded, sending metal fragments shooting into his head. Tragedy occurred the evening of September 17th after Gilson Doe, that's his name, Nascimento, 43, returned the booze barrel for his B-Day bash in Campo Boom, Brazil, state of Rio Grande Sul. Unfortunately, the beer wouldn't come out of the tap properly, so the locksmith shop owner decided to try to repair it himself. There was a problem, said Nascimento's niece, who obviously remained anonymous, and was at the soiree with his wife and 15-year-old son. He said the only foam kept coming out the device, not beer, and from the pressure it blew up, and he was killed. And this came after he was only 2 months out of ICU, because this man had a battle with cancer. Spent 2 months in recovery in the hospital after his bout with cancer, and on his 43rd birthday, he was killed by an exploding electric beer keg. Now, I don't really have anything bad to say about that. That was just some wild shit. Step the level, put on the feed. So I wanted to get into that slightly because that is me just saying when it's your time. When they say it's in your cards. That shit reminds me of like some of that. What's that? Final Destination. That was some Final Destination shit there. You beat cancer and get your face blown off by a goddamn micro brewer on your 43rd birthday. I mean,
you got me talking in black empowerment stuff, dog, because I'll just put it like this. Black men went away for war to fight for the country, and then come back to the country and get killed by the white people they protected.
Oh.
That's just how shit happens sometimes, dog. It's kind of fucked up. But it's some bullshit right there. I beat that. Hey. But damn, then you get hit in the head with some damn shrapnel.
From a micro beer brewer that you was using that as a birthday present for your 43rd birthday. I mean, that right then and there, I mean, I'm a hypothetical guy, but when I got to heaven, because if I beat cancer and the goddamn beer brewer blow up in my face and kill me, I hope that I can at least get to the gate and have a conversation with someone and say, yo,
I need to speak to Jesus. I need to speak to Jesus. Jesus, you let me survive this pulmonary embolism that you just gave me, right? You let me survive that, but you blew my face off
with a beer brewer, with a beer machine.
Let me explain why, Rocky. let me explain why. The doctor was actually supposed to not save your life.
Hey.
So, we tossed it around. We tossed it around up here. Your mom says she really would love to see you. She's been complaining a lot. This is why we had you the first time. So we gave it a week or two, and unfortunately, Rock, that's what we did. Your mom.
That was your role of the night. Your mom did it. That's it. Oh man. Hey, that is a fucked up roll of the dice. I'm with you, Rock. When I get there's some gate or some conversation with the first person in heaven,
I'm pulling a Karen.
Right. I deserve answers. Even though they say the Lord works in mysterious ways, somebody owes me a fucking explanation for why this shit.
You have to wait online, Rocky. You got to wait online. Fuck that. You bring Jesus H. Christ out here now.
Right. Right. I'm like, wait a minute. On my 43rd birthday, Man, I'm sorry. Rock got a slight tear coming out, man. But that I need to speak to Jesus right now. Who go to heaven? Yes, sir. I like to speak to Jesus right now. I like to speak to the manager right now. I have a complaint.
St. Peter, I don't want St. Peter.
Right. I need to speak to your manager.
Boss.
I want to speak to your manager right now. I have a complaint, bro. But sometimes that's how the fucking cookie crumble. No disrespect, RIP to this man. Like I say, I don't know what to say. Like I'm with you, Rock. When it's your time to go, it's your time to go, bro. Some people survive bullets to the head. This man took a beer brewer to the face.
It's sad, man. I mean, this dude was probably. I mean, because like right now, I'm jokingly putting it on me. I survived this thing so far, right? I'll be damned if I go out there to go for a walk or something and get hit by a drunk driver. You know what I mean? That's something like that equates to.
But you know what, Rob? That's not even a drunk driver. Somebody can say, "Damn, that was in Rocky's cars, but that still wasn't in his hands." When an inanimate object like a beer brewer blows up in your face, that right there is when somebody go. I'm serious. That's some Final Destination shit. After that, whoever was beside him when that shit happened, I would start counting like 1, 2, 3. I might have to save a third life or something, sacrifice, because this shit is getting wild. I wonder could his family sue that fucking company? He sued.
Probably not.
Right?
Probably not, because some locksmith did it. If you're gonna sue somebody, you got to probably sue the locksmith or whatnot, not the company.
Terrible. It's fucked up how it went down, but sorry, bro. Rest in peace to you. You know, peace, and I hope I don't know. Your family's good. That's gonna be some PTSD shit. Every time somebody offered his mama Corona or his brother, mama, somebody, anytime he or his wife get offered a beer from now on, she gonna break down in tears. Like, you want a Modelo? What? You gonna sit there like, what the fuck happened? Long story, bro. She just drinks the Quavo now. Anyway, let's go to my last one, fellas. I got my last one, because you know what, y'all just made me think of that since we was getting into an RIP moment. For the guy, for my what the fuck moment. What the fuck is going on here? I know you heard about this brother here. AJ Johnson.
Yeah, man.
AJ Johnson, man, from Friday. If y'all don't know who he was, Ezel from Friday. He passed away. I think like 2 days ago. 2 days ago. He was found in I think he said in a bathroom. I always got to get to these fucking stories because sometimes as you can see, I don't read all the way up on the motherfucking stories as I should. It says, I think it was in a hotel or something. Not a hotel, his home. All right, let me see. Let me get to it. Give me a second. Damn, they just gave him a small fucking second. But anyway, he was found dead in his home. He said he will be a constant prayer for his entire family, including his wife, Lexis, 3 children, brother Edward Smith, sister Sheila, lifetime manager, friend Mike D. He was dead. He was just found dead in his home by himself. 2 days ago, they haven't had a report whether it was, natural causes. I don't know at 55 what you can consider natural causes. It wasn't no mystery surrounding shroud of drug abuse or anything like that. But he was found dead in his home, man. A few days ago. Like I said, if you don't know, if you ever watch Friday, he's Ezel. He's a crackhead. Remember he was like, what he told me? I don't kill, I don't steal. I mean, we said, I don't kill, I steal. When Debo got knocked out and he put the butcher knife on his chest, he was like, here, you can take that. I take these motherfucking big ass shoes. He stole Debo's big ass Converse off his feet, gave him his knife, and was like, I don't steal, I don't kill, I steal. And he was on Def Comedy Jam. Pretty much, I'm sure everybody who watches our show is of our age. So you might remember him from Def Comedy Jam or what was the joint? Wasn't he in Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre video? He played Eazy-E.
Yeah.
In the G thing, he was a great comedian, long time active, a lot of small roles, but he played the hell out of those parts.
So the one thing I'd say on this is, and I just looked it up earlier today, I felt bad for the dude because they didn't have any money to bury him. So that was the one thing. So they had a GoFundMe out there for him, and it only had $2,600 in it. So
what?
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that bothered me, but I just looked it up just now. It's increased from that big time, which I'm very appreciative of, seeing how the first star that I saw on here is Little Rel. He donated $4,000. His number now is up to about $50,000 as far as what's been collected. Listen, I'm guilty of it. I talked about it, not having medical insurance. This guy didn't have life insurance, to do anything. This is where I'm doing better with myself, where I am in the process of getting medical insurance, and I have to go ahead and get life insurance as well to be able to take care of myself in the event of my death. But what my point was I was kind of embarrassed for him that at the time he only had $2,600 in there from the time they made this up, which was probably, like you said, 2 or 3 days ago, to where it brought into social media. It had to be brought to everyone's attention to, hey, like Faison Love, Big Boy, Big Worm, or whatever. I don't know. I didn't look to see what his number was at the time, but on his social media, people had to attack him to be like, yo, put some money in this man's, thing, help him out. But at the same token, you don't know what Faison has. So, a lot of these comics, a lot of these guys ain't making tons of money.
Hey, you know what I'm about to say, Rocky?
What's that?
Sims, let me go ahead and light it up, because you know what I'm about to go into my rant.
I was about to go on a rant on one thing that one issue I see coming up, especially I don't want to label it in the Black community. I know white people got to jump on us, is learning how to putting up that savings account mentality and actually learning how to make your money make money, like doing, because that's what real people do. Like, you invest that money. Like there's plenty of these guys that's these millionaire, multi-millionaire, billionaire, NBA players, all that. They invest that damn money.
Right.
Like, you gotta let that. You can't just sit that money somewhere, though. You gotta let that money make some money, bro. Me and my wife got our small shit, but we got that money has accrued, and that's something I do on my side time because that's money, dog. Like you can build yourself a small fortune if you just put your money the right way. And these guys, at some point, he got a check for Friday. He got a check for those comic things. You need to take some of that damn money and put it somewhere, dog. Like, you gotta be smarter with it. I hate seeing these guys, these successful guys.
But the point there, though, Sims, is, and again, don't listen to me, Google it. He only made about 20 grand for Friday.
20 grand.
Right. He didn't make big money.
He made $20,000 for that movie.
Look it up. Cube did not pay cats, and this is why Tucker did not come back and make any more movies for him.
Now it's my part. Now it's my turn. Fuck Ice Cube. Okay. First of all, Ice Cube damn sure had enough money where he could have paid for that man's funeral. Fuck Ice Cube. I love Cube, though. I do love Cube as a businessman and what you've done. But fuck you, Cube. You could have came and paid for motherfucking Ezel motherfucking funeral. 20. If Ice Cube don't have the biggest amount in, he should double whatever the fuck they got in there, just from the simple cause of being from the soil with a guy like AJ Johnson, who was already basically at that time in somewhat of show business, and that was Ice Cube's first movie written and directed by Ice Cube and DJ Pooh. But I feel like Ice Cube is some dirty cube for you, a shitty cube for that. But to go back to what you were saying, Sims, John Witherspoon, may he rest in peace, said he only got a check for $1,500 or some shit, $15,000 no, he got a check for $5,000 to do the very first Friday. So if John Witherspoon got $5,000, he probably gave Ezel $1,000. If that, he probably gave AJ Johnson $1,000. Most of the actors from the original Friday, like Rocky said, and it's been, even the actors said it, multiple actors, they were paid a small fraction of what that movie actually made. Cube basically
They don't
DJ.
make royalties off those movies, though?
What happened?
No.
I thought like when you do movies like that, I thought as it's played, as it's bought, I thought you get like the royalty side, like you get more money later.
But you got royalties ain't a lot, man. I got friends in the industry, and I've seen one of their checks. I've seen a royalty check for 17 cents.
I mean, you know, and especially if they didn't have anything to do with, if you just a hired actor and you don't really have anything to do with the writing or producing credits, you was just a hired hand. So you got your check whether the shit did good or not, unless you had a great contract and lawyer in which you got paid.
Right.
But if you got like AJ Johnson and you got a guy like Cube and this is his first written and producing film for the hood, and he said, man, I give you $1,500 and you ain't doing shit, you like, fuck it, I'll take it. But the back end of that is once the movie moves on to make $100 million or $10 or $20 million in the box office, you stuck with that $1,500 you took because there wasn't no contract. You just got paid to be an actor in a movie. But yeah, John Witherspoon said he got paid $5,000, I think, for the very first Friday, and he said the second one, Cube gave him like maybe 50 to 100,000 to do the second one. He said that he took the check and looked at it as an opportunity as an actor to act. He said my rent was already paid. He said I took the whole 5,000, and this is for some people to learn. And what Rock was talking about and what Sims was talking about, John Witherspoon said he took every time he got a check, he paid his rent for 3 or 4 months. So he knew everything else he did was nothing but a hustle for him to make money instead of worrying about whether his bills was going to get paid. He said every check, he said when he got that $5,000 from Cube for doing Friday, he paid his rent for like 3 or 4 months. He said, and after that, he went back and did other shit. He said, because he looked at it as long as I take care of home, I can go out there and take care of other things. But, you know, like I said, Cube, you should be ashamed of yourself if you don't come up and hook up Ezel.
Cube should be ashamed of himself. Puffy?
Shit, Chris Tucker.
Puffy should be ashamed of himself for what happened with Black Rob. You know, it goes on and on. What happens with us as people that aggravates the fuck out of me is that we don't take care of us.
Yeah, we got that you on your own mentality. I was telling somebody about that. We do have a mentality of a sense of, now, not to say black folks won't help each other, but in the base of you on your own, that's how we look at it. We'll help each other. There's no issue with that. But once
there's an issue with it because we rather hate on each other before we.
Correct.
Like
well, I'm just saying.
I hate on you having something before I try to help you.
Well, I mean, but I wouldn't say that because listen, you brothers get on here and you help me. You know, ain't nobody paying you. It's just a thing that y'all come and do. So I don't want to put out there a negative vibe of saying, look, this is what all black people do because we're black men here. We come together and we all do this for the love at the point because ain't nobody getting no motherfucking check. You understand what I'm saying? So we support each other, but it gets to a point where with us, once we see someone doing bad or in a bad space, we choose to say, okay, now, motherfucker, you on your own. Instead of, like Rocky saying, that those times where a brother or sister would need more help or need more someone else to give them a little bit more of a safety net. And I don't mean monetarily. I don't mean give them motherfuckers some money. I ain't saying pay their rent. But I'm just saying the times where we can really give a little bit extra of time or whatever to help push somebody out of a bad space or wherever they're in, we choose to say, hey, you're going to go through that shit on your own. And a lot of people a lot of other people don't do that. They will go through the bad times together just to get to the good times. Black folks, a lot of time when it comes to the bad times, you on your own with that shit. Now, if it's come to the good times, we're going to let them roll. But, like you said, man, well, for this brother to get to a point where he needed $2,600 to be buried, and he do comedy shows and do things. And that's one thing I don't like how we carry y'all legends. We'll call somebody a legend, but when the brother's alive, you don't even want to pay $55 for a ticket to go see this motherfucker do a stand-up comedy show. You like, he was a comedy genius.
And
got a $55 ticket.
My point right there too. this dude going around doing comedy shows. These comedians will tell you they making probably $500, $700, per show. They got to go out there and really bust their ass and, set up a venue here, go to the next town, go to the next city. So what we think is as stars and entertainers is that all of these people making 20 grand, 50 grand on appearance. That ain't always the case, man.
Because we only see out of the 100, we see maybe 4. We see 3 to 4 out of 100, and think that 3 or 4 represents the other 97, 96% that ain't got shit and they making it. And like I said, then when that 96 or 97% come to your town, or they come to little bars and areas and comedy clubs, and they charging $50, $60 for a ticket, you be like, man, I ain't paying that shit to go see that nigga. You be like, well, and then you wonder why the brother passed away and got $2,600 in his bank account. Because when you doing a show, you wouldn't even go spend $60 to sit there and have a good time. So, like I said, man, that we always drop some gems on here. Those people who watch, who stay in tune, I hope you learn something from every time we sit down and we speak our infinite wisdom. But yeah, man, so support each other, man. The bottom line. Give people that we starting to slow, man. Give people their flowers while they motherfucking here. That's what's important. Motherfucker can't hold on to roses while you're dead. It don't even matter. They on your face. You can't put them in your hand. Yeah. So, just give people their roses, man. And as Sims has pointed out, as you're a black person, invest in yourself. Teach yourself to and let others teach you to invest in yourself and make some. And grow some kind of not just economic wealth, but economic wisdom.
Let's put it more basic. Take half the time of your Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and just learn money, dog. Like literally, that's the only way I can say it. Learn money. Money can make its own money. Get that shit out that damn say. Quit putting $5,000 in a damn savings account. Look at it in a year and it's 5,001. That's all I'm saying. Like. Put that shit somewhere where it'll make some money for you. To put it in a damn EFT, dog. Get 10% a year on it. Like, make some money on it, dog. Like, do something. Shit.
He just hit us with the EFT. Sims just went straight finance 101. Put it in the EFT, nigga. Quit playing. I don't even know what that was. I'm just shaking my head like, yeah, I'm in EFT when I get off here.
Yeah, dude, there's so much money to be made, and it's money that you ain't. Like, we were lucky enough where me and my wife were working, but we still got stimulus checks. We didn't get the stimulus checks like I saw when these motherfuckers were coming out, buying the big TVs, getting the car. Right. We literally, this stimulus check went from account to the market. It was no pass go. And we got 3 of them motherfuckers. They all went straight there. So, I mean, it's just, don't even play with the money, dog. Think about what you're doing in the future, dog. Quit thinking about that a lot of time. Like, it's something ridiculous. Trust me, I work with a lot of young people. The mindsets are so bad. And I'm just like, I'm working on them, trust me.
Hey, Sims, you know what? Because people think about the future, but they don't really place themselves in the future. They think about shit that go in the future, but they don't really place themselves there. So they don't have no fucking path like, this is how I'm going to get there.
Dude, you don't know how many times I've made one of these little young fools stutter where they be like, yeah, in the future, I'm going to retire early. I ask one simple question, how? How you going to do that? Give me a plan. Well, I'm going to figure it out. Yeah, all right, nigga. Like, so.
Right. You don't have a plan.
You want to figure that out, especially when you're 20-something. I wish I'd have known now when I knew at 20. I'd be really good right now. So that's all I'm saying. Like, just I got some of these mugs got them little investment accounts now. You put money in there. I'm like, that's what you need. Dog. Take shit. we try to. I told you, I'm gonna have y'all rich in 20 years. Now y'all go give me some money. I said, give my old ass some money. They like, but yeah, just as a culture and we just need to help each other out. We need to quit this mindset of we got to go get a hustle going and all this. So it could be legal as shit. Put your shit in the market. These rich ass people and make your money, dog.
Right. Don't stop investing in goddamn $700 sneakers and $800 belts. That's not even an investment. Stop buying $600 shoes where you can get with Sims and he can teach you how to turn that $600 and in about 5 years it might be $6,000. Yo,
Dude, I
so
got these fools at work. They got, I literally got a homeboy that got like crazy amounts of Jordan still in box at his house, and I'm like, okay, nigga, like what? So what we doing? Like, what we doing with this? Like, you got these shoes. They're playing. Like, what we doing? I mean, I don't get it. Oh yeah, you know the value's gonna go up on them. What's the value of them? How much is gonna go up? When are you planning on selling it? Who you selling it to? You don't know nothing.
And what's and I'm in the tennis shoes. What's the value of them now, and what market are they placed in? Is it a one-on-one tennis shoe? Is it exclusive, or is it just some shit you bought from Foot Locker that everybody got a pair of? And you just say, you know what I'm saying?
I just got had the Jordans. They the retro Jordans. Okay, man, whatever. Dog.
What? Yeah.
My brother-in-law has bankrupted him and my sister-in-law based off of sneakers.
Just buying shoes?
Based off of sneakers, brother. You know, listen, everyone has their vices. You know, my vice was is toys, boat, car, stuff like that. Not some damn sneakers, bro. Not some sneakers.
And you can have them. That's the thing, though. You can have those vices. You can get all the shoes you want. Build your money up.
Right, but take care of your bills. And if you can't afford the sneaker that week or that month, don't buy it. Can't afford the don't buy it.
Like these fools ain't even wearing the shoes. Like y'all buying these shoes, y'all ain't putting the motherfuckers on. Y'all got them in the box at the house, dog.
Got them in plastic. Got them wrapped up in plastic. Like there's gonna be some type of equity in it. There ain't no big equity in it.
You got kids that's 14, 13 years old that's really into this tennis shoe game that's making $3,000 to $4,000 per month, literally going out and doing their homework and investing in the tennis shoes, and they don't even keep them. They don't even buy them to keep them. They buy them just to sell them. It is a market for it, but it's really people who go out there and, like Sam said, they do their homework. They find out the value, and they literally go spend maybe $1,300, $1,400 on some Jordans and other Nikes. But then they go into the sneaker world where they trading and buying and selling and make like $4,000 or $5,000. That's an investment. When you buy some sneakers,
there's a small percentage of people that get accidentally rich. Like, you know, some people it might be something that happened where you win a lottery or some bullshit like that. But for the other 99% of the world, there's a plan that required. You got to have some kind of plan. So you have the people that might successfully be doing this. Are you following that motherfucker? Are you too busy following dumbass Kanye saying slavery was a choice? You know what I'm saying? Like,
he out here hustling clothes that look like old potato sacks and goddamn shoes that look like an old goddamn air freshener.
There's a dude online by the name of Gary V. If you do nothing else, to millions out there, go listen to Gary V. Go see what it is that he's out there going to yard sales and picking up and flipping. You got people doing it, making 20 grand a month, 30 grand a month on flipping that type of stuff. Going into Walmart.
Hey, you know the thing that's the most insulting, dog, and this is just what pisses me off about this damn generation period. Even when I do my stock stuff, the stuff that I can do good, everybody puts that shit on YouTube. Back in the day, I probably would have legit had to study the market and understand this and that. Now I could just literally go to YouTube, get a basis, and then study that because it's more narrow to what I could look into. And just off that little bit, I made something happen with that. So I'm like, dude, even with what you said about the guy, you could just jump on and follow, and he going to yard sale. Like, just look at this shit, dog. Get off fucking TikTok. Get off damn Instagram looking at these dumbass women that's trying to get you. Get off damn, just stop. Like, take half the time and just do some damn research. You got a smartphone in your hand. You can literally pick this bitch up and get rich. If you just try to figure some shit out. Use some common sense, bro.
Absolutely.
It is. All right, gentlemen. We've been running for about 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Don't think I didn't see them Packers on, boy. Don't worry. We got you in a minute.
Yeah. We see on Sunday. Is it Sunday, Sam?
Oh, yeah. It's Sunday. Don't worry. Right.
He said, "Don't worry, we ain't gonna worry, bro. Listen,
we got an undefeated team coming to town, bro.
We hit. Oh, okay. Hey, listen.
You see him over there.
Hey, listen, don't let that Saints loss fool you, okay? Don't let that shit that happened with Rocky. We getting it back, and we don't worry, we snapping back in order, as you see. We getting it back.
I'm gonna let him fully recover before I jump on him.
This season is like my chest. We got cracked open. I'm done.
It's only week 2. What happened, man?
I had no big expectations.
That just passed. Yeah, I mean, yes, week 3, but I mean, week 2 just passed. We just only did 2 weeks. You already done?
What sucks is that you got Carolina looking good. Carolina looking good.
No, but you saw a boy got injured. McCaffrey pulled his hamstring.
Again, they ain't skip a beat.
True.
Well, Rogers, we got to come out there and show the world what we're going to do. But anyway, that's for another topic. Yo, thank y'all for tuning in, bro. Thank y'all always for dropping in, keeping your man Toucan Dan company, dropping wisdom. We're going to have to do a financial segment because we always talk about some wild shit. But one thing that really interests me, Sims, that I was talking to my wife about is becoming more educated in finance and how, like you say, money is a tool, how to be able to make it work for you instead of you working for it. And that's something I really, we all get to that.
Policy, dog. If you ever want to message me, call me, just hit me up, man. I'll talk. You don't know how I'm talking. There's at least about 6-7 people I'm hollering at right now. And I got like 4-5, but it's small. I ain't amazing at it, but I have made, I mean, if you put money in and you 33 to 40% up on it, can you do that in any kind of bank account? I mean, that's just not.
Hell no.
You realize when you put your money in the bank account, all they do is take your money and invest it.
Bro, I've been with Citibank for fucking 15 years. I've been with Citibank for damn near 14 years. And if them motherfuckers will draw my account negative just to charge me a fucking bank fee, I'm like, God damn, you ain't got enough faith in the nigga in 14 years that you'll draw me my bank account $40 negative 2 days before I get paid? You motherfucker. That's an old number story. That's why I got to get financially wise. Anyway,
y'all. A quick bit right there, didn't it?
Fuck Your Opinion, the podcast. We out.
All right, bro.
I appreciate you.